forced to hack into the registry of Windows, and it occurred to me that Windows 10 is a lot like Windows 3.1, where you have to go behind the scenes into the terminal window, and you just have to do everything just like it's DOS. And I figured out how to edit the colors from that standpoint, because Windows will not let you edit the colors. And if you try to put some freeware on top or there's not even anything you can buy that can run themes in Windows. If you know about it, let me know. Because I spent hours looking at it, and so just sit there and keep on trial and error. Well, I can see the colors because I can bring up a color window. But all the descriptions of everything, and MetaTrader is looking for the core registry colors, whereas there's apps out there that probably just use their own color scheme. Apparently, this really MT4 it's leaning on the structure, the original Windows colors. So it's a real task to try to get stuff so you can see everything. So here I haven't quite got the colors dialed in right, but at least I know how I got to this color. Whereas before it was just trial and error. Here's your classic charting. I'm sure everybody's familiar with this kind of so-called trading a setup. And if you were to trade this same setup all the way down this 4-hour sell-off, and so-called 4-hour downtrend, although there's plenty of money to be made from a counter-trend move. But buying this trap here, this is a 30 pip window. Okay, if you bought that, or you were waiting for it to come back to the trend line. The flaw being is that if you're strict and you say, well, I drew my trend line here and I sold there, because I draw it, it's a very fast downtrend at that point. So you have two places to draw it, two mountain peaks, and you say, when it gets to here, I'm going to sell. And that should be right around the time that this bottom here is becoming a top. And you'd be right, but you'd be more right if you put a sell limit here. Because if you wait for the end of the candle, you're going to miss some of the best prices. You could wait for the end of the candle. You could sell every faint rally in a down move. So the story started at the top here, where you're above the 100-yard line. People sell. You also have a trend line break here. I mean, you'd have to kind of get on these trades right away up here. You're breaking the trend line well before you're in closing prices, well before any kind of trend line. That's why I don't. If you draw a trend line like this and you're waiting for a break of this trend line, you're a little late to the party. Like you could tell me, well, it broke here and then confirmation. Yeah, okay, but like I've been making money for 8 hours and you're just getting into the trade. Like you just figured that out. Well, I'm just playing trader and wait for my indicators. Okay, you can tell me that you're waiting for the what is no nonsense call it. You're waiting for your indicators to catch up. These are just things people say. I'm just waiting for the kids to get out of the road so I can run them over. Get the kids to come into the road so I can run them over. Am I watching some kind of circus? Like the news and stuff, there's this guy called Tim Pool, and he actually thinks Trump's not going to win because of these. Oh, he put out this tweet about. You think Americans are that stupid? Americans are obedient, but they're not stupid. Apparently, they're obedient. They're all wearing masks for the bullshit Corona thing, which there's 3 people dying a day, and they're like, we're back in a lockdown. You're in a lockdown in your fucking mind, okay? And it just does no good. The people that have, there's people, I watched the Samurai Trader Sue Lee talk about why he doesn't coach people and all this stuff. Why he doesn't, I don't know if he has courses, why that's such a bad idea. in a sense is because it'd be like if I gave sex classes. Well, here's how you do it. Here's how long you do it. And what you want to do here is we want to get a moving average of how you do it. Uh, I don't know. And the trade that I'm in, you might think, there's no way. Okay, well then you need to go trade the no nonsense way. I can see the no nonsense trade here. It's not like I can't get aboard it. Somebody said they were no nonsense trader. Yeah, I can see all that stuff. I got you, but there's somebody in the bathroom having the best sex of their life, and you just don't know it. Well, I don't see anything at the party going on here. It's not like that. Not like those parties you see in the movies. So, up here you could say all sorts of things. Look at this entry, man. I got in this trade here. And some other guy's going to go, yeah, you know what? I know what you mean, man. I was in that trade too. Let me show you how, because I run a moving average system. You ever heard of that? So I have a book. I think I bought when I was starting out. The gooberish book you could buy, The Magic of Moving Average. And I thought, magic? I can get behind magic. Some magical thinking never hurt anybody. That's what Gartley's are about. So I would say that, yeah, there's probably some fucking 50-period moving average out here in Disneyland somewhere. And you're like, yeah, can't you see? Right there. It intersected right there, Gaudian. Just like Edge would do. So it's like, well, what can you tolerate, though? This is what Sue Lee's saying. Wait, I don't know if your temperament. I just don't know, man. These markets are vicious. You may have built an algorithm that has this capture point here, and you may be looking for that setup for days on end. It's like I said, walking around with an outfit that you picked out for a girl that doesn't exist. You got the shoes. You just like, that's the Cinderella story, right? It's like, wait, when the shoe fits. Wait for that trade to fit. Well, the other approach is to say, I'm trying to make 50 pips, I'm trying to make 100 pips, and how can I do it? How can I get in? When would I get in? Well, I'll say Asia would be a time to get in. Okay? Because it's quiet. And it's not moving very much. In fact, it looks like the market's closed, and for all intents and purposes, the session's over, and now we're waiting for the next country to pick up the ball. Where are they going to take it to? And where is the nearest path of least resistance, which is the void, the hole? Where are these holes? People say, what's this vacuum you're talking about? Well, it's all around us, and it's always forming in the market. It's always right around the price. So there's a huge, brutal vacuum here, because if you ever get up in that window above this lonely wick, it'll be like a big great sucking sound, probably back to here. But that just means that if this is a top, which it would be, if this goes crashing through, it'll be a top, becomes a bottom. You could see that kind of scenario. People can probably envision that. Could you have placed sell limits here to capture 10, 20, 30 pips back to here and then get on the long train? Yeah, but I don't know if the market's going to turn on a dime like that. It's not perfect. It's not. You may just tip into this window a little bit and this dilly-dally and then come down to here. It's just, that's how it is. Like, this is the loneliest, this is the oldest top. It couldn't even think about getting there. So when it took out this high, if you're selling new highs, and that sounds it's very counterintuitive. You're selling new highs just because it's up. And some of that is going to be a scalp to here. So you're going to have included in this trade plan, you need to take something, right? So if you bought below here, man, you had to take something. Even though you did get this juicy price here, and that wasn't even touching this window until like later on. We dipped in this window. So if you bought here, 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 you had to dump here. So Sunday, I bought into this crush on Friday. And when Sunday opened, I had to get out here at this bottom. It was over. I wasn't ready to go short there. I didn't want to go short there because I thought, no, I'll just buy below here. So I did that. Because I can see where it's going, but it could be a trap, right? If I said, I'll sell here, like I know that if I bought here, this area, and I dump because we're coming back to here and I sell here, yeah, okay. But it's really not, I mean, it's not the best trade in the world. It's probably better if you have a market order that you sell at the market when it's up, sell at the market when it's up. There's only 3 chances to get on the short train there. Are you, in addition, this is the confirmation idea of life that makes sure she doesn't have any pre-existing conditions. Are you waiting for confirmation on this also? All this stacking up? What if this doesn't touch it on close like it didn't here, but it was a perfectly good sell? Are you gonna not take that? So if you sold here at the market, and on limits, you're selling this top and you're selling this. So you're short on limits. You're adding to it at the market, so you're adding to a loser as it comes up. And it tags a trend line, doesn't close there. You just can't be that strict. If this bottom is supposed to become a top right now, and you're selling at the market, I'd be very careful. If you're selling this and selling this, you certainly got to have your first 10, 20, 30 pip targets in there. And you're selling on limits because you just made a new high. So you like here, I'd rather sell on limits here. I'd rather sell on a limit here because we know there's supply up here or demand. And we know that would be a great trade back to here. But you're selling with tight stops here too, because you are expecting this bottom to become a top. And it may not even make it this line, and it's just going to keep crushing into the night. But what is so people talk about, I mean, I've heard it all. 3 drives. Well, it's waiting for 3 drives, say. Let me count them for you. This will be 1 drive. 2, 3. Obviously, we're going up. Now, that may be true. The 3 drive. I'm sure there's divergence here with the right amount of RSI. Between RSI is built on close, so I'm sure without putting RSI out, I'd say there's probably divergence. And even if there's not, there's a double bottom in RSI. If no sellers come in at 9 o'clock at the end of this bar to drive this thing through the floor more, and it stalls out. Now this is the last known low from this standpoint, but this is the deepest, oldest low that we're supposed to reflect off of that and keep tanking. If we reject this and we start coming after that, now there will be a big party here, a lot of chaos here. This be like a oh gosh, one of those riots. We just break everything. Statue of a penis. Yeah, you have to go down to Pompeii for that. But they knocked those things. They didn't knock those things down. Look at that. Even the lava couldn't knock down those dicks. But let's see, what do we got here? So this is also Friday's close. Dead cat bounce, fall out of bed into new lows on take out the lows of last week. Who doesn't want that price? That's the freshest price ever. So that's why I don't think it is. I think it is going to engulf this. I don't think it's going to. I think this trend line's cooked in the long run. So I'm just going to hold my long position, and that's that. It's 1/4 after now. Looking just for a drift up. So if I condense the chart, it's going to frame it differently. You have a different feeling about the chart as you compress the data. Here it looks like, wow, that is some steep ass. But the pound never disappoints. The 100 pip moves, just big chunks. If I go to the daily, it's like, wow, that is some steep stuff. I'm telling you, this British pound. Look at the moves on this thing. Let me zoom in to the. Okay, so when you zoom in, you can see my 4-hour chart analysis. It's just like the damn closing prices. Same fucking thing. So that's why the no nonsense forex guys. I feel like I feel like they sold here, because they had the confirmation that was down. And, don't forget for the algorithms turned over. Some guy wrote some algo and he probably posted his, nice call, dude. Sold here, made 120 pips. He's out. So I know that's why I'm hearing the like, you're full of shit, dude. I make money with no nonsense. Okay, but if you did that same trade here and you sold, how do you feel about it? Or here and you sold on confirmation. Yeah, it's going down. It's going down. Okay, so there is a backlash. Okay, this is like these people that want to strip all these black people off of every product. And I think figured it out. Somebody said, well, why would they want to take Uncle Ben off there? He's a black guy who's successful in Texas growing rice. It's because it's a capitalist company. It's a white company exploiting a black guy to make money. Gosh, but they're doing that with Oprah Winfrey too, aren't they? And Michael Jordan. So, get over it. Shut the fuck up. Nobody chooses to be born any certain color now. Shut the fuck up. I can't. I just love it. Let these fuckers have it. Let them have it. Let them eat cake. The Corona thing's bad enough, where you got the intellectuals, the no nonsense. Well, we have an algorithm for that. You see the modeling and dead bodies. And the people are writing because they're like, that's the dumbest shit we ever heard. I just can't believe it. That's the 60s. It's high-tech 60s. I'm tweeting out a picture of a guy with wait, I think I see is that a noose or a condom? What the fuck happened to your brain, dude? NASCAR guys don't even have did he get crashes? Like boxers, did he crash? Did he bump his head? He didn't say I gotta see this for myself. Show me this noose. I'm sorry. It's not a noose. It's a line chart. The market made a couple moves. Don't freak out on me. So I think this is also the end of, for all the eliticians, this is the end of wave 4 on the daily pound. When you see this giant wedge here like this, the market gets all quieted down like that. She's ready for a rally. Look at the daily chart. I'm telling you, man, no nonsense people could nail it if they could just get this one concept. I know it would never happen because no nonsense is we don't trade reversals, But if you could just buy this window here when it knocks those wicks out and hold on for 200 pips or almost 200 pips, and just be like, yeah, that's my algorithm. Let me show you my algorithm. I sell new lows and I sell new highs and I buy new lows. How's that work again? Well, I just put a buy limit here and I put them every 10 pips. And when I get down here, I'm actually buying a bigger position. So below this, you're just loading the fucking wagon, dude. And you scalp to here and then it pulls back and you reload. So, you could reload in here anywhere. Look at this beautiful top bottom, right on the clock, but not on the wick. Man, that thing is just hell bent. And then when this goes up, you know what they're going to say in the news? They printed so much money over there in the United States. That's what's driving it. I thought it was because they took down Churchill's poster. And everybody's like, well. So I got a new company. We build hologram statues. You get to pick, and then we give you a Nerf hammer, and you get to pick which statue you want to beat on. Like that sure made me richer. I mean, what kind of fucking infantile? Like I said, it's infantilization. When you treat people like children, man. When the nanny state is in full force and you got fucking chicks running the show. No offense to girls, but let's get them off the steering wheel because they're just too touchy feely. Oh yeah, defund the police. That's a good idea. So now I gotta buy a fucking Uzi? Thanks, fuckhead. Stay in the kitchen. How about barefoot and pregnant? It sounds old school, but man, I mean, it's just, you just can't, there's something cozy about knowing that your kids are safe with the person that brought them into the world. But to have some, your working mom who's spending money on fake tits. Okay, don't call me if you're that person. Well, it depends what your ass looks like. But what happened to people, man? And now you got a full. I think it's because they closed the circus, Barnum and Bailey. We're making up for it. That's the vacuum. See, people say, "What's the vacuum?" That's the void that needs to be filled. So the market's just like that. You know, if there's a hole, something's going in it. You notice when it rains, the water is the path of least resistance. What do they say? The common denominator is fear, panic, and of course, when it comes to trading, the fear thing is definitely. That's why, if you trade every day for any kind of money, you just kind of laugh at the way people behave with the mask and everything. If I put on a mask every time, I was like freaking out. How can you breathe? I heard an ad for defogging your glasses because now that you're wearing masks, you have to defog your glasses. Oh, people. I don't know. It's just so sad. It really is sad, but on one hand, it's very happy because a lot of people would say, and they've said about other traders and about me, because I can understand why they're doing that trade. We need traders like you for market liquidity, see? Oh, wow. Gee, that's never heard that one before. But everybody needs each other to trade, and everybody's in a different trade. So, yeah, I get it. You're in this fucking no-nonsense thing, and you got this 150 pip stop, and you built an algorithm, and you got 20 computer screens. All right, I got you. But don't worry about it. Okay, we're all gonna die. I put a new template up here, candlesticks, I call it. And this is the Australian dollar on the 4-hour chart with a dotted line at 10 pips, and we got 100 pips on the big line, and this little skinny line, that little bit fainter is the 50-yard line, 50 pips. This one, it just makes it easy to visualize that this market really isn't going anywhere. Is it tradable? I mean, like, is the Australian dollar tradable for you? Eesh. I mean, you probably have to go down the 1-hour chart and put up your 20 period moving average and try to get in on this move, right? So I can see your trades here. I think, like, you wait for everything to sync up, you get the engulfing pattern, you jump on the train. Okay, that's great, right? That's great. But what about if you just sat back? Just think of this. Now, this is completely pure price trading. What if you just started putting buy limits in here and you just walked away? And you're like, yeah, Australian dollar doesn't really move that much. I mean, it moves pretty good. It dropped. It trapped these people at the top. Oh, fucking hold on a second. It trapped these people at the top. I got some bad gear. Right? Trapped them up here. In a 20 pip window, they all went long. It's breaking out. Can't you see? I know I'm bullish too. Are you bullish? And that's why you really don't ever want to go to a Discord. I think I heard Clevesis say that. You just can't. You, if some guy's making $1 million, you can't take his trade because you don't have $1 million, but you don't even trade like him. I mean, I guess the thing is, it is logical to find somebody who's winning and then do what they're doing, but I don't think you can do it. I mean, you could be a cover band, right? You could play just like the band plays. So I'm thinking, this is a great price. This is a great price. This is the best price. And this is probably the ultimate price, but we never really get there. If you just bought here, now, you're going to have to use your goober no nonsense stop at 150 pips. But even this trade becomes see this. Here's where a bottom becomes a top on the 4 hour, right? And then one last swoop down. But I'm probably not going to take that trade because I got a buy limits strewn all the way down here, like in a hold on a second. I feel like I have one of those kids I have to beat. Come here, Johnny. I'll give you something to cry about. So I don't really trade Australian dollar, but I can see how I would if I wanted to pay attention to this situation. Buying below here and this bottom becoming a top, that's a different issue. Because that is your exit door. You got to get out of that trade. If you gobbled up all this shit and you bought that plunge like a banker would, be a banker. Stop thinking that you can't trade like a banker. Why can't you just be your own institution? Why can't you just put orders out here? Well, that's all. Well, just the big boys are allowed to do that. I don't know if you saw Did you see the notes? Did you talk to Harold? Because you're going to upset the apple cart here. We've been getting along real good here with this no nonsense guy, and we don't allow that here. That one guy in the Discord, I just never get over it. This is for trade calls only. I don't want you to even talk about the symbol. I just want you to say buy and sell. Buy. Can you say buy and sell? We give courses on that. Now that's an introductory course. Buy, sell. Okay, you're a trader. Go. Get out there and trade. This is the entry. You're buying that new low. Sure, it doesn't do one of these, which you wish it would do. So you have to take something away from that. And this is when this is why it's hard to trade more than one currency, because you'd be like, oh, what's going on with that Australian dollar trade? Oh, that kind of sucked. Only made 50 pips, or 40 pips. Maybe 40 pips. What you were trying to make the 100 pips. I got you. You want to make the 100 pips. What if you just bought every 4 hours is really heavy down? Man, I'm buying that. If I'm sitting here and I see that, well, I already had limits in here, so I already bought it, right? But if I saw that, I'd be like, oh, yeah. So I did that with this account. I'm up to $52,000, $53,000 trading, starting with $5,000. But I traded 21K at the market. Boom, 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 boom. As soon as I see this, like here's Sunday. Boom, boom. Like if I saw that on a Sunday night. Now, somebody asked me, when I talked about this, if you put a buy limit here that lasts all week, when Sunday opens, they're filling you. You're filled. Because you can't get to that. And the spread might suck. But it's okay because whatever the spread is, if the spread was 10 there, and it probably is on open here, even though that looks like it's a very dramatic move though. That's Sunday. By the time you get to Tuesday, you're out because you're coming in the seller's vacuum. And it's so funny how these are the best trades. Selling here, selling here, selling above that. Is that a good trade? How's that not a good trade? Like, stop it with the fucking I don't trade reversals. You're missing money. Why are you gonna sit? You know, I get that you want to do the right thing. Yeah, you know. Oh, Black Lives Matter. Not to the Black Lives Matter group, right? So I was discussing that with the bass player in the band. I said, you notice how it's not Black People Matter, it's Black Lives because you're killing us. No, dude, you're blowing yourself up. You're blowing yourself up. It's like a trader that's keeps voting for a Democrat trade. Yeah, I can't talk. I mean, it's just the Facebook thing. So I got some. I don't know if people are just trying to show off how they care, but you got your head up your fucking ass. Well, wearing those masks kept the curve. It didn't do shit. It doesn't do shit. Go lick a pole. Who's inviting sick people into a nursing home in the first place? I'm fucking retarded people, dude. You can see. I don't know if maybe people can't see it. I hope they can see the stupidity fucking shit of the university. Look at the people they turn out. These are kids that were in school, and now they can't go to school, so they just go out and act like fucking idiots in the streets and break shit. If our demands aren't met, fuck your demands. Dude, I got 5 Uzis. I got one that's a spoon lever for my foot. Bring it. It's time. Yeah, that's like a clean house, really, because it just reminds me of this sell-off here in the market. You come up here, everybody's all giddy. They're like, yeah, I got a moving average. We're all bullish. Yeah, talk to that guy. Dan Hoof. And this is where No Nonsense pulls out of his hat. Well, you got to read the Commitment of Traders. This guy, this White Oak guy, keeps sending me this bullshit. He's a coach for professional traders. Does a professional trader need a coach? I guess so. I need a life coach is what I need. That's what they're doing now. I think if you call 911, they're like, dude, life coach is on his way. We're gonna bring some high fiber food and we're gonna bring exercise personal trainers. What we're bringing. You're gonna be just fine. Are you okay? Some guy. Oh my God. So I went back to No Nonsense's channel where he said, how to trade a bear market. Yeah, how do you trade a bear market, dude, when it retraces and it makes a V? How to make the most of a bear market, some bullshit. So I had to look at the comments, dude. I mean, some poor guy in there is like, I don't know, because people write these cheesy canned scripts about how they traded and lost, but it looks like an authentic, like this guy just lost like 17 grand on a couple trades or something. Or he took a course or something. I thought, gee, Willikers, and he's asking for No Nonsense's help, No Nonsense is kind of out of the game, I think. I don't think he cares anymore. Yeah, he's moved on. Because he kept threatening that he was going to finish off his course and stuff. And I feel like he kind of fucked people over, like Ron L. Hubbard. Like he just left people twisting in the wind. They're in the Discord and they're swapping algorithms. Like, how much time you got in that fucking algorithm? Because you're such a pussy, you won't put on a trade. You're so afraid of life, you won't go out without a mask. I don't know. You call me angry old man, but I don't fucking get it, man. How the fuck you doing it? Life's risky. Like people are. How many people dying from Corona a day? No, 200 people. It's 7,000 people die every day of something else. But it's all gonna. Trump's gonna win by a landslide. It's gonna blow people's minds. Even the black people are gonna vote for him because they're like, dude, it doesn't matter what color your skin is. It's like, are you fucked up in the head? So the universities have done their work, and it's just this kind of like food chain. I see it in the forex thing. Oh, the whole thing about trading. You know, these. You know, if you, it's just like an analyst. They can't trade that stuff. You can analyze the market. You can cloud analyze it. And all, even this cloud guy, who's some Asian dude's like, yeah, I just look at it. He goes, in the end, I'm really not trading cloud system. But people want to see this shit. Show me the cloud system again. Show me the tea leaves. Oh, could you read my palm? Oh, how about your horoscope? Horoscope says you're going to get hit by a fucking Molotov cocktail. You're going to hit. Yeah, you're going to get raped by a protester. I see the tarot cards, it looks like you're getting raped by a protester. I don't know, man. It's so sad. People love it, though. People love the show, and then they want to be in the show. I guess that's what the riot's about. Let's be in the show. So you got these white morons that go down to the city. Look it. We're here to help. Yeah, kids. You can go home now, kids. But I can see how people want to take all this data on this screen and just make sense of it. It really does make quite a bit of sense if you look at it on a 4-hour chart. You just got to look at it, man. That's all. Just stare at that and think about 2 bars is 8 hours of time. Are you up for that trade? How much time? How long do you want to be in a trade? If I put a buy limit here, and I put a buy limit here, I put a buy limit here, and they fill 2 of those, and my exit's here, obviously, right? When the market's here, this vacuum exists. It's left behind. You buy that, you dump it, you're out. In 4 hours, you're out of the trade. You have a sell limit on here. You have sell limits here. You got tons of sell limits on that wedge, right? The richest place to sell. In 4 hours, you're up on that top ticket. In 8 hours, you're up on the whole rack, even the one you sold up here. How is this not? How is that not good? In what world is that not a good trade? It's logically good. This is the vacuum. This is a vacuum. How is this trade not good? I sell here and I sell here. I cash out. You got to get out. You can't sell here and go, well, look at, you lost. See what happens when you go against a trend? Are you retarded? Are you honestly fucking retarded? Well, I guess if you think you are if you just think, well, I just traded the market. We're getting a signal on our moving average. Wait for our indicators to catch up at the moment. Please hold. Your trade is very important to us. I don't know where people find the patience for this shit. Being born without patience, I guess. I never found the patience for it. And yeah, all those books, sure. Maybe you might, like I said, you may fall in love with the moving average system. And if you want to be a no nonsense guy, absolutely. But it's like saying you want to go sing karaoke, as opposed to you want to write a song, or you want to figure out the bass line of some song. Yeah, you can get drunk and sing karaoke. That's what no-nonsense forex is. In a way, right? In a world. Anyways, I gotta get some more coffee. It's only Monday, so we're waiting for the drama to start here.